The greatest secret of life is not hidden in some distant mountain or buried beneath the sea. It rests quietly within you, in the way you think. Every event, every circumstance, every relationship, every outcome that colors your world is born first in thought. But most people wander through life believing their thoughts are random passengers, coming and going without permission, without consequence. They never stop to ask, what if my thoughts are the architects of my reality? You see, we are not victims of circumstance. We are creators living in a universe that listens to the frequency of our inner world. The problem is many have never been taught how to think correctly. They think by habit, by fear, by the echoes of their upbringing, by the limitations handed to them by others. And then they look upon the world and wonder why lack follows them, why pain persists, why joy feels temporary and fleeting. But I will show you, your world is not happening to you, it is happening through you. It all begins in the quiet chambers of your imagination. You may have believed that imagination is a playground for children or a retreat for dreamers, but I tell you, your imagination is divine. It is the workshop of creation. What you consistently entertain there with feeling, with belief, must crystallize into form. The world around you rearranges itself not by luck, not by force, but by the images you hold and the truths you accept within. Thinking correctly means disciplining the mind to dwell only upon that which you desire to experience. It means understanding that every thought is a seed. If you sow thoughts of failure, doubt, fear, scarcity, betrayal, what harvest do you expect? But if you sow thoughts of success, peace, love, abundance, and certainty, your reality cannot resist reflecting it back to you. The world is a mirror. It reflects not what you wish for, but what you assume, what you accept as true, even in the silence of your heart. You can try to manipulate the outer world with action, with words, with effort, but if the inner world remains corrupted by fear and lack, all your striving will return void. But when you learn to think correctly, to guard your mind like a sacred garden, everything changes. You will walk into rooms and opportunities will unfold. People will shift. Circumstances will rearrange themselves, like actors following the unseen script of your inner convictions. This is not theory, it is law. The law is simple. What you accept as true inwardly must express itself outwardly. And belief is not born from struggle or force. It arises naturally when you quiet the noise and choose, moment by moment, to dwell upon the reality you wish to create. The greatest power you possess is not in your hands, but in your mind. You may have been told you are weak, that life is unfair, that you are destined to struggle. But hear me now. Those are just thoughts, and thoughts can be replaced. You have the authority to think differently, to think correctly, to reject the whispers of fear, to silence the doubts, and to plant within the fertile soil of your imagination the seeds of greatness, love, health, wealth, peace. Every time your mind wanders to what you fear, bring it back to what you desire. Every time you catch yourself rehearsing failure, replace it with the image of your success. Speak to yourself as if the very thing you long for is already yours, because in the unseen, it already is. Correct thinking is not a one-time act. It is a practice, a discipline, a devotion. But as you persist, the world will shift. The impossible will bow before your certainty. Doors once locked will open. Circumstances you thought unchangeable will dissolve. People will appear, resources will flow, and you will know without question that you have been the silent cause of your visible life. Everything begins with thought. Your outer world is your reflection. Think correctly, and the world will follow. Everything begins with thought. It is the most subtle yet the most powerful force you possess. You may believe that life is happening to you, that circumstances arrive by chance, that events unfold beyond your control, but the truth runs deeper than that. Life is not happening to you, it is happening through you. You are not merely a passenger drifting along the currents of fate. You are the silent architect of your reality, whether you know it or not. And the building blocks you use to construct your life are your thoughts. Your thoughts are not insignificant, passing shadows in the mind. They are the seeds planted in the soil of consciousness. Each one carries the potential to grow into something tangible, to shape experiences, to color your relationships, to determine the opportunities that unfold or wither away. But most people drift through life unaware of this power. They think by default, allowing the noise of the world, the doubts of others, and the fears inherited from their past to shape their inner world. And as they think, so they create. Unknowingly, often unwillingly, yet inevitably. If you pause and truly observe, you will notice the pattern. Look back upon your life. Every major event, every significant change, every rise or fall can be traced back to a thought, a belief you held, an assumption you accepted, a mental image you entertained, perhaps even in the quiet moments when no one was watching. You may not have realized it at the time, but the thoughts you nurtured became the blueprint for the life you now see around you. Whether it was joy or suffering, abundance or lack, love or loneliness, it first existed in the realm of your mind. To understand this is to reclaim your authority over life. You no longer stand as a victim of circumstances, but as the creator of them. Every thought is a cause, and every experience is its effect. And when you recognize this, you begin to understand the immense responsibility and power that rests within you. You cannot allow your mind to wander aimlessly, to dwell in fear, resentment, or limitation, and expect a life of peace, love, and success to unfold. And the outer world reflects the inner state, like a mirror that cannot lie. You are always thinking, whether consciously or unconsciously, and with each thought you are giving form to your future. If you dwell upon lack, scarcity, betrayal, illness, or struggle, you are watering those seeds, feeding them with your attention, your belief, your energy. The universe does not judge the content of your thoughts, it simply responds. It echoes back to you the dominant vibrations you emit through your inner dialogue and assumption. The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. Most people live unaware of this, caught in cycles of fear, doubt, and limitation, repeating patterns of pain because they have never been taught to think correctly. They believe their circumstances are separate from their inner world. They blame fate, others, or random chance for the conditions they face. But the wise understand that everything seen is born from the unseen. The outer world is the fruit, the inner world is the root. If you wish to change the fruit, you must first tend to the root. Thinking correctly begins with becoming aware of the constant stream of thoughts flowing through your mind. It requires observing them without judgment, noticing the patterns you have accepted, the beliefs you carry, the assumptions you entertain. You must become the guardian of your mind, sifting through each thought, choosing consciously which ones to nurture and which ones to discard. You cannot afford to be careless with your thinking, for it is the most creative act you engage in every moment of every day. You have been given the gift of imagination, not as a distraction, but as the canvas upon which you paint the masterpiece of your life. What you imagine, you begin to believe. What you believe, you begin to expect. What you expect, you inevitably experience. It is a silent, unwavering law, operating whether you acknowledge it or not. The images you hold within are not fantasies, they are blueprints. The feelings you attach to them are the fuel. The persistent repetition of those images, infused with belief, crystallizes them into form. This is why so many remain trapped in cycles they long to escape. They want a better life, yet they think in alignment with fear. They desire love, yet they dwell upon rejection. They seek abundance, yet they continuously entertain thoughts of lack. The universe cannot contradict the script you hold within. It plays out according to your dominant mental state, mirroring the very essence of your thoughts. Your thoughts precede your reality. If you wish to alter your life, you must begin at the source. Correct your thinking and your life will follow. But this requires awareness and discipline. You must become deliberate in your inner conversations. Speak to yourself not as the person you have been, but as the person you desire to become. Think thoughts that align with your ideal state, not your current circumstances. Hold images in your mind that evoke the feelings of already having what you desire. Do not be deceived by appearances. The world may show you the remnants of your old thoughts, the echoes of your former beliefs, but do not let that discourage you. Stay faithful to the new vision within. Think in alignment with the reality you wish to create, even when the outer world has not yet caught up. Your thoughts are planting seeds beneath the surface, and with persistence, those seeds must grow, must bear fruit. The soil must bear fruit. The world has no choice but to rearrange itself to reflect your corrected thinking. The greatest illusion is that circumstances are fixed, that you are powerless to change them. But the truth is, you are never at the mercy of your environment. Your environment is always at the mercy of your inner world. The world bends to the authority of your thoughts, your beliefs, your assumptions. To think correctly is to recognize this, to honor it, to use it with intention. It is to understand that every moment, with every thought, you are either reinforcing your limitations or liberating yourself from them. You are either creating the same old patterns or birthing something entirely new. There is no greater power available to you than this. You do not need to force, manipulate, or struggle with the outer world. The transformation begins within. Think differently, and your life will unfold differently. Think as the creator, not the victim. Think as the one in command, not at the mercy of chance. Direct your thoughts with clarity, with faith, with conviction, and the world will follow the design you hold in your mind. Imagination is the forgotten key to all creation. It is the sacred hidden workshop where realities are first shaped long before they ever appear before your eyes. Most people underestimate this divine faculty, brushing it aside as childish fantasy or fleeting daydreams, never realizing that within the quiet walls of their imagination, entire worlds are being built, shifted, and prepared to unfold. You do not experience anything in the outer world that was not first planted in some form in the invisible soil of your inner world. Your imagination is not an escape from reality, it is the origin of reality. The world around you, the circumstances you find yourself in, the people who cross your path, the opportunities that arrive or vanish, all of it flows from the unseen realm of thought, belief, and most of all, imagination. The moment you close your eyes and envision something with clarity, with feeling, you have already begun to create. The invisible world listens, responds, and organizes itself according to the images you consistently hold. This is not a matter of superstition or wishful thinking. It is law. The outer world cannot help but rearrange itself to mirror the dominant state of your imagination. People go through life trying to change circumstances through action alone. They toil, they strive, they exhaust themselves, pushing against the visible, never understanding that they are engaging in the hardest, slowest method of change. They fight battles in the world outside, not realizing that the true battle, the real work, is won or lost within the realm of imagination. You can act all you want, but if your inner world contradicts your actions, your results will always align with your dominant inner state, never your effort alone. But when you align your imagination with your desire, when you dwell in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you set into motion forces far beyond logic, timing, or effort. You have been given this power from the beginning. You may have forgotten it, ignored it, or been taught to dismiss it, but it has never left you. It is as close as your next thought, your next mental picture, your next quiet moment of reflection. To imagine is to create. Every time you vividly picture yourself as successful, as loved, as healed, as abundant, as powerful, you are impressing that image upon the deeper layers of consciousness. And consciousness, being the only true reality, must eventually reflect that image outwardly. But the key lies in consistency and belief. To imagine something for a fleeting moment, then dismiss it with doubt, is to cancel the very seed you have planted. But to dwell upon the image, to feel its truth even before it appears, to walk through your day carrying within you the feeling that it already is, that is when imagination becomes creation. The universe does not respond to words alone, nor to empty wishes, but to the persistent felt assumption of your desire fulfilled. Every great achievement, every invention, every discovery, every seemingly miraculous event began first as an unseen image within someone's mind. The aeroplane, the light bulb, the skyscraper, the cure, the revolution, all of it was first constructed in imagination long before it was forged in reality. Those who shape the world understand this. They do not merely react to the visible, they mold the invisible and allow the visible to follow. Imagination is the divine blueprint. Your current life is the structure built from the blueprint you have carried, whether consciously or unconsciously. You cannot escape this truth, but you can begin to use it to your advantage. You can redesign your blueprint. You can tear down the structures of limitation, fear, and lack, and you can construct new images, new feelings, new inner experiences that call forth success, love, health, peace, and joy into your world. But you must understand that imagination is not idle daydreaming. It is deliberate creation. It is sacred work. When you close your eyes and imagine, you step into the workshop where the raw materials of thought and feeling are shaped into form. You hold in your mind the images of your ideal self, your ideal life, your ideal circumstances, and you saturate those images with belief. You see them, feel them, walk within them, not as something distant, but as something now, something real, something certain. In doing so, you collapse the gap between desire and experience. The reason most people struggle to create the life they want is not because they lack intelligence, opportunity, or resources, but because they have abandoned the correct use of imagination. They use it against themselves, unconsciously picturing failure, rejection, illness, or poverty. They rehearse worst-case scenarios, they dwell upon what could go wrong, and unknowingly they impress these fearful images upon consciousness, which in turn reflects them as experience. Imagination, like any tool, does not judge. It simply creates. It follows your lead, your focus, your emotional tone. The question is not whether you are using your imagination, but whether you are using it for or against yourself. Every time you imagine success, even in the face of failure, you begin to rewire the unseen forces governing your life. Every time you hold a mental picture of love, even if loneliness surrounds you, you are planting seeds that must bear fruit in time. Every time you dwell upon abundance, even when scarcity seems overwhelming, you are shifting the blueprint of your reality. The world may not change instantly, but it must change eventually, because the outer follows the inner always. Your imagination is the link between the unseen and the seen, between the formless and the formed. It is not bound by logic, time, or circumstance. It operates beyond the five senses. You can sit quietly in your room and within moments travel anywhere, become anyone, achieve anything within the vast landscape of your mind. And that inner journey, when repeated with conviction, spills over into the external world. Events unfold, people appear, opportunities arrive, as if by coincidence, but in truth, by design. The greatest tragedy is not failure, but a misused imagination. To spend your days picturing only what you fear, to dwell upon what you lack, to rehearse in your mind scenes of disappointment. That is to create chains where there could have been wings. But the moment you reclaim your imagination, the moment you become the conscious author of your inner world, you awaken to the truth that you have always been the creator of your life. This power does not belong to a chosen few. It is the inheritance of every human being. You do not need permission to imagine a greater life. You do not need evidence to believe in the unseen. You only need the courage to turn within, to close your eyes, to see with the eyes of the mind that which you wish to experience. To do this consistently, with belief, is to hold the world in your hands. You shape it not by force, but by image. Not by struggle, but by quiet conviction. Imagination is divine. Use it, and the world must follow. And the world must follow. And the reason so many people live lives of quiet desperation is not because they lack potential, resources, or opportunity, but because they have never been taught the discipline of thinking correctly. They drift through life, allowing their minds to be ruled by external conditions, by the opinions of others, by the noise of the world. Their thoughts are scattered, reactive, and inconsistent. They think in alignment with what they see rather than with what they desire. And so, they remain trapped in cycles of lack, disappointment, and limitation, all the while unaware that their own mind holds the key to freedom. Correct thinking is not an accidental habit, it is a conscious discipline. You do not stumble into a life of success, peace, and fulfillment by chance. You build it, moment by moment, through the thoughts you choose to entertain and the mental images you allow to dominate your inner world. Every thought is a seed, and like any seed, it must produce after its own kind. You cannot sow thoughts of fear and expect to harvest confidence. You cannot dwell upon failure and expect to experience success. The soil of your mind does not discriminate. It simply grows what you plant. The mind left undisciplined becomes a chaotic landscape where doubt, fear, and negative assumptions flourish. It reacts to the external world, echoing back the circumstances you wish to escape, trapping you in a loop where your inner dialogue and outer reality reinforce each other. But when you discipline your mind, when you become the deliberate guardian of your thoughts, you interrupt that loop, you shift the cycle. You begin to plant new seeds, new ideas, new images, and in doing so you change the harvest. The practice of correct thinking begins with awareness. You must become observant of the stream of thoughts flowing through your mind. Most people live in a state of unconscious thinking, repeating the same patterns, rehearsing the same fears, nursing the same insecurities day after day, never questioning where those thoughts lead. But awareness brings choice. When you are aware of your thoughts, you can interrupt them, redirect them, replace them with ideas that align with your true desires rather than your fears. It is not enough to casually think positive thoughts once or twice and expect life to transform. Correct thinking requires consistency, persistence, and devotion. You must train your mind to dwell only upon what you desire to experience. This does not mean ignoring reality, but it means refusing to be ruled by it. You do not deny the facts of your current situation, but you refuse to let those facts dictate your future. Instead, you direct your thoughts toward the reality you choose to create, knowing that the outer world is fluid, temporary, always reshaping itself to reflect your dominant state of mind. Every time you allow your mind to drift into fear, doubt, or resentment, you are watering the seeds of the very conditions you long to escape. But when you hold your focus on peace, abundance, love, success, even in the absence of external proof, you are aligning your inner world with the life you desire. The world may resist at first. Circumstances may challenge your resolve. But the law cannot be broken. The outer must eventually conform to the inner. Disciplining your mind is like training a wild horse. At first it rebels. Old patterns resurface, doubt whispers, fear clings. But with persistence, your mind becomes your ally. It begins to naturally gravitate toward the thoughts that serve you. You no longer need to force positivity. It becomes your default state. But this mastery is born through daily, moment-to-moment practice. Correct thinking also means understanding that your emotions reveal the quality of your thoughts. If you feel anxious, frustrated, or hopeless, you are thinking in alignment with what you do not want. Your feelings are not random. They are the byproduct of your mental focus. By shifting your thoughts, you shift your emotions. And when your emotions align with your desires, you become magnetic to the circumstances that mirror your ideal state. Most people believe they must wait for life to improve before they can feel good, but the truth is reversed. You must feel good, dwell in the feeling of fulfillment, success, love, peace, even before the evidence appears, and life will follow. Your disciplined thoughts create disciplined emotions, and disciplined emotions create disciplined outcomes. The correct thinking also requires rejecting the noise of the world, the opinions of others, the limitations handed down by society, the fears passed along by those who do not understand their own power. These are not your truth unless you accept them. You must build a mental fortress, a sanctuary within your mind where only the thoughts aligned with your highest vision are allowed to dwell. You cannot control the external chatter, but you can control what takes root within you. This is not about arrogance or delusion. It is about authority over your inner world. You do not owe your mind to the doubts of others. You do not owe your imagination to the worst-case scenarios painted by the fearful. Your mind is sacred, and only you can decide what occupies its space. To think correctly is to reclaim that authority, to refuse to entertain the lies of limitation, and to saturate your inner world with the images, thoughts, and assumptions that align with the life you desire to experience. This discipline is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Every moment you catch a limiting thought and replace it with a vision of your success, you reshape your future. Every time you resist the temptation to dwell on fear and instead immerse yourself in the feeling of your desire fulfilled, you draw that desire closer. The process is subtle, but its effects are undeniable. Eventually, the disciplined mind becomes effortless. What once required constant vigilance becomes your natural state. You begin to think in alignment with your highest potential without struggle. Your inner conversations naturally reflect success, love, peace, abundance. And the outer world, bound by the law of reflection, has no choice but to mirror those inner convictions back to you. Correct thinking is not a passive act. It is an active, conscious commitment to your own power. It is the daily practice of choosing your thoughts with precision, of dwelling only upon what serves your highest vision, of rejecting the mental clutter that contradicts your desires. As you master this discipline, you become the deliberate creator of your life. You no longer react to the world. You direct it. You no longer drift aimlessly. You navigate with clarity. You no longer wait for circumstances to change. You change them from within. And through this disciplined thinking, you unlock the limitless potential that has always been yours. The world does not respond to your wishes, it responds to your assumptions. This truth escapes most people because they confuse what they casually hope for with what they deeply believe to be true. You may say you desire success, love, health, or abundance, but beneath those words lies a network of assumptions that quietly dictate your reality. You cannot escape this. Life does not unfold according to what you say you want. It bends and shapes itself according to what you truly assume to be possible for you. Assumption is the silent architect of experience. It operates beneath conscious awareness, shaping the patterns of your life with unwavering precision. You may wish for wealth, yet assume deep within that money is scarce and hard to come by. You may long for love, yet assume you are unworthy or invisible. You may hope for peace, yet assume life is a constant battle. And no matter how desperately you wish for change, your assumptions act as the blueprint that the universe follows without deviation. This is why so many feel trapped, confused by the gap between their desires and their lived experiences. They speak affirmations, they make plans, they work tirelessly, yet they overlook the foundation upon which all those efforts rest: their inner assumptions. You cannot build a new reality upon the old structure of limitation. You cannot create abundance while assuming lack. You cannot experience love while assuming rejection. The world reflects not your surface level hopes, but your dominant, often unspoken assumptions. The power of assumption is not rooted in logic or external evidence. In fact, it often contradicts both. You may look at your current circumstances and see only struggle, yet choose to assume success. You may face loneliness, yet assume love is inevitable. You may lack visible resources, yet assume abundance is flowing toward you. To the outside world, this appears delusional, but within the law of creation, it is the only true alignment with the life you wish to experience. Most people live as prisoners to their senses. They see only what is, and from that they draw their assumptions. They believe they are being realistic, yet in truth, they are reinforcing the very conditions they wish to escape. They assume life is hard because they see difficulty. They assume love is rare because they have experienced rejection. They assume success is unlikely because they have tasted failure. But this cycle only persists because they have not yet understood that assumption precedes experience, not the other way around. To master your life, you must master your assumptions. You must become aware of the silent beliefs that govern your inner world and choose them deliberately. You cannot afford to drift in a sea of unconscious thinking, passively absorbing the assumptions of society, family, or past disappointments. You must stand guard at the doorway of your mind, permitting only those assumptions that align with your highest vision to take root. This is not an empty exercise in positive thinking. It is the foundation of creation. When you assume something is true even before there is evidence, you align your inner state with that reality. You create the blueprint from which life must construct your experiences. The outer world is not fixed. It is fluid, responsive, obedient to the dominant state of your consciousness. And your assumptions are the loudest commands your consciousness issues to the universe. Assume success and circumstances begin to shift to support that belief. People appear, opportunities arise, doors open where once there were walls. Assume love and you emit a frequency that draws connection, kindness, and intimacy into your experience. Assume abundance and resources, ideas, and pathways emerge that were previously hidden. But these changes are not random. They are the natural outworking of the assumptions you carry within. The challenge is to persist in your assumption, even when the world offers no immediate confirmation. The mind will resist. Old patterns will whisper doubts. The senses will present evidence to the contrary. But the law remains: assume it is so, and it must become so. The universe does not deny a sustained assumption. It does not debate with you. It follows the blueprint, reshaping itself to mirror the dominant state you hold within. This is why assumption is more powerful than wishful thinking. Wishing leaves room for doubt, for questioning, for contradiction. Assumption closes the gap. When you assume something is true, you no longer argue with reality. You inhabit the state of your desire fulfilled, and from that state, life must yield to your command. The outer world rearranges itself, often in ways you cannot predict, to reflect the inner certainty you have chosen. But this requires more than momentary effort. You must dwell in the assumption. You must live as if the desired reality is already yours, speaking, thinking, feeling in alignment with that truth. You must refuse to entertain thoughts, conversations, or feelings that contradict your chosen assumption. This is not denial of the present. It is creation of the future. You acknowledge what is, yet you refuse to assume it is permanent. Instead, you boldly assume the greater reality you desire, knowing it must come to pass. Life bends to the authority of your assumptions, because assumption operates on the level of belief, and belief shapes perception. When you believe something deeply, your mind filters reality to confirm it. You notice opportunities aligned with your assumption. You dismiss distractions that contradict it. You act with confidence, drawing to you the resources, people, and situations that support your inner state. The assumption becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, not by magic, but by the natural outworking of consciousness into form. Most importantly, assumption frees you from the tyranny of waiting. You no longer postpone your peace, your joy, your confidence until the outer world validates your desire. You claim those feelings now, based on the assumption that what you desire is already yours. In doing so, you collapse time. The gap between wanting and having dissolves, and you become the living embodiment of your fulfilled vision. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is the conscious choice to inhabit the state of your desire before the world reflects it. And in doing so, you move the unseen forces of life into motion. The people, events, and circumstances you require are drawn toward you with precision, not by force, but by the silent authority of your sustained assumption. Your life as it stands now is the sum of your past assumptions. If you desire change, do not merely act differently, assume differently. Choose assumptions that reflect the life you wish to create. Hold them, nourish them, persist in them, and life will follow. The outer world has no choice but to conform to the inner reality you steadfastly assume as true. The mind is not changed overnight. Correct thinking is not the product of a fleeting moment of inspiration, but of daily practice, quiet repetition, and unwavering devotion to your inner world. Persistent correct thinking rewires your entire reality because your world cannot remain unchanged when your dominant state of mind shifts. But many lose patience with the process, expecting the outer world to rearrange itself instantly, while they have only just begun to cultivate new mental patterns. Yet the laws that govern life respond to consistency, not to brief efforts fueled by frustration or doubt. Your current reality is a reflection of the thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions you have repeated, often unconsciously, over time. You did not arrive at your present circumstances by accident. Every detail of your life, from your relationships to your finances to your health, has unfolded in response to the patterns you have impressed upon your mind. Those patterns, repeated consistently, became the silent architecture of your world. If those patterns have created limitations, suffering, or lack, they did not arise from a single moment of negative thought, but from an ongoing cycle of incorrect thinking left unchecked. The same principle applies to transformation. You cannot entertain a new thought once or twice and expect your entire world to shift. Correct thinking must become your constant companion. You must saturate your mind with the vision of your desired life until that vision becomes so familiar, so natural, that it feels like the only possible reality. At first, this may feel forced, even contradictory to what your senses report. But with persistence, the new pattern begins to overwrite the old. Your mind, much like a muscle, strengthens through repetition. The more you dwell upon the correct thought, the assumption of success, love, abundance, peace, the more your inner world begins to adopt that state as its default condition. Persistent correct thinking is not simply about holding positive thoughts. It is about immersing yourself in the feeling of your desired reality as though it already exists. It is not enough to think of wealth. You must think from wealth. Not enough to think of love. You must think from love. You must dwell in the emotional state, the mental posture, the conviction that what you desire is already present within your experience, even when the world around you suggests otherwise. This persistence rewires not only your mental patterns, but your perception. You begin to see opportunities, connections, and possibilities that once remained hidden. Your actions, words, and energy shift to align with the inner state you have chosen. The world mirrors this transformation in subtle ways at first. unexpected encounters, doors cracking open where before they were closed. But as you persist, those small shifts multiply, the momentum builds, and your outer world begins to radically reorganize itself to match the inner blueprint you have cultivated through your sustained, disciplined thinking. Many abandon the process prematurely. They plant the seed of correct thought, yet when the outer world does not change immediately, they dig up the seed in frustration, questioning the law, doubting themselves, returning to the familiar yet destructive patterns of fear and limitation. But no farmer expects a harvest the day after planting. The seed must be nourished, the soil tended, the process respected. Correct thinking works the same way. Your new mental patterns require time to take root, grow beneath the surface, and eventually break through into visible form. Persistence means holding the correct thought regardless of appearances. You may face opposition, delays, or setbacks, but these are not signs of failure. They are tests of your commitment to your inner vision. The world may echo your old patterns for a time, but if you persist, the new pattern must override the old. The outer world cannot resist the force of a mind that consistently dwells in the state of its fulfilled desire. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when circumstances tempt you to abandon your new assumptions, but this is where true mastery is forged. Correct thinking is not about never experiencing doubt. It is about refusing to dwell in it. When old thoughts arise, observe them without judgment and gently redirect your focus back to the desired state. Over time, this process becomes second nature. The old patterns weaken, the new patterns solidify, and your reality transforms accordingly. The most powerful evidence of persistent, correct thinking is the shift in your inner state. Long before the outer world reflects your new reality, you will feel the change within, a sense of peace, confidence, expectancy, and quiet knowing begins to settle over you. You no longer chase circumstances or beg for validation from the world. You walk through life carrying the certainty that your desire is already unfolding, that the unseen is moving in your favor, that your world is rearranging itself in perfect response to your sustained inner state. Persistent correct thinking does more than change your outer circumstances. It changes you. It rewires your identity, reshapes your self-concept, and elevates your understanding of your own creative power. You cease to be a victim of life and step fully into the role of its architect. You recognize that your mind is the command center, your thoughts are the blueprints, and your assumptions are the instructions that life follows without faith. This is not about blind faith or magical thinking. It is a disciplined, consistent alignment with the truth that your inner world is the cause and your outer world is the effect. As you persist in correct thinking, your entire reality must adjust to match the state you have chosen. The law does not waver. The process does not fail. Only your persistence determines the speed and scale of the transformation. Persistent correct thinking becomes a way of life. It is not a temporary practice you engage in when circumstances are difficult. It is the foundation upon which you build every experience, every relationship, every opportunity. It is the quiet, unshakable confidence that life bends to the authority of your inner world, and that as you persist, the unseen must give birth to the seen, and your desired reality must take form. Trust in the power of the universe and know that it has an incredible ability to align everything in your life perfectly, just as it should be. The things you desire are not far off, they are simply waiting for the right moment to manifest. You see, time is not a linear force that you must wait for, it is a part of the flow of your own consciousness. When you truly align yourself with what you want and feel it deeply within, the universe responds in ways you may not even fully understand yet. You don't need to push, to force, or to rush. The only thing required of you is to have unwavering faith. Faith in the unseen, faith in the invisible currents that guide your destiny. When you focus on the end result, not on the how or the when, you are entrusting the universe with the task of bringing it to you at the perfect time. Trust that everything you desire is already on its way to you, and that it will unfold exactly when it is meant to. The timing of the universe is always impeccable. It is never early, never late. It arrives at the exact moment you are ready to receive it, when your mind, body, and spirit are in harmony with your desire. Stop worrying about the details, stop questioning the path, and simply know that what you desire is already becoming real. You must believe this with your entire being. Feel the joy and gratitude as though it is already yours, and in doing so you magnetize your dreams into reality. Your job is not to struggle or to worry, but to stay in a state of calm assurance. Know that the universe is orchestrating everything perfectly, behind the scenes, to bring your desires to you at the right time. It is a force that knows no failure, no limitations, only infinite possibilities. When you trust this, you free yourself from impatience and open yourself to the miracle of divine timing. Remember, what is meant for you will never pass you by. The universe will always bring it to you at the right time. When you trust in the universe's power, you are acknowledging something profound. The universe is not just a distant, abstract force. It is a living, breathing entity that is intricately connected to you. It knows your desires, your needs, and your deepest intentions. Every thought, every feeling, every vibration you send out into the world is received by the universe, and in return it orchestrates the events and circumstances that bring those desires into your reality. The key is in knowing that the universe does not operate on human concepts of time or logic. It is not bound by limitations. It is limitless in its ability to create and manifest, and this power is always working in your favor. When you trust in this power, you stop seeing obstacles and begin seeing opportunities for alignment. You recognize that all that you need will be delivered to you at the perfect moment. The universe knows precisely when you are ready to receive what you desire, and it will bring it to you when the timing is just right. You do not need to rush or force things to happen. All you need is unwavering faith in the unseen process, and to fully trust that what is meant for you will come to you without struggle, in the exact form you need, at the precise time you are prepared to welcome it. When you trust in the universe's power, you release the need to control, to micromanage, or to question the how or when. You simply know that everything is unfolding as it should, and your only role is to stay aligned with your desires, to feel as though they are already yours, and to allow the universe to do what it does best: bring your dreams to life in perfect harmony with the world around you. Manifestation is not limited by the ticking of a clock or the passing of days. Time, as you perceive it, is simply a construct of your mind, a way for you to measure events and experiences in the physical world. In reality, time is an extension of your consciousness, not a barrier. Your thoughts and desires are not bound by the linear flow of time. They exist in the eternal now, within the limitless potential of your own mind. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with your desires, you are creating a powerful energy that transcends the limitations of time. The moment you desire something, that desire is already set in motion, and it begins to unfold in the invisible realm. You may not see the physical manifestation yet, but it is already forming, already taking shape. You are not waiting for something outside of you to change. Instead, you are shifting your own consciousness, your own awareness, and when you do so, you unlock the doors to all that you have asked for. Your desires are already on their way to you, not in some distant future, but in this very moment. The universe works through the law of attraction, bringing to you exactly what you have aligned with, and this process is happening now, regardless of when you think it should arrive. Your desires are already made manifest in the invisible world. The universe, which is an extension of your consciousness, is already moving to align everything perfectly for you. Trust in the process, and know that the only thing that is required is for you to remain in a state of knowing that your desires are inevitable. They are not a future event, they are a present reality, already on their way to you. Time is not a limitation. It is simply the flow through which your desires manifest in the material world. The key is to stay focused on the feeling of having already received what you have asked for that is the key to making it real in your experience. There is no need to rush or force the manifestation of your desires. The process of creation is not a struggle or a fight. In fact, the moment you attempt to push or force things, you are simply working against the natural flow of the universe. Manifestation is not about exerting control, but about aligning yourself with the natural rhythm of your desires. It's about understanding that your desires are not something that you need to chase after or demand from the world. They are already part of your being, already planted within your consciousness, waiting for the right moment to materialize. When you rush or force things, you create tension, resistance, and a sense of urgency. This energy of pushing comes from a place of lack, feeling that what you want is somehow beyond your reach. But manifestation doesn't work from a place of lack. It works from a place of abundance, trust, and surrender. You don't have to prove anything, and you certainly don't have to struggle to make things happen. The universe already knows what you desire, and it is constantly working to bring it to you. The key is to trust the process. Trust that the universe has already received your request, and it is already in the process of aligning everything perfectly to bring it to you. You are not required to make anything happen. Your role is simply to remain open, to trust, and to believe that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. When you stop pushing, when you stop trying to force the outcome, you release the tension and create space for the natural flow of your desires to come to you. By trusting the process, you allow things to come into your life with ease and grace. When you let go of the need to control the how and when, you create the space for the universe to surprise you in the most beautiful ways. The timing, the circumstances, and the conditions are all being arranged in perfect harmony. Your job is to allow it to unfold, to stay in alignment with your desires, and to trust that the universe has already set everything in motion for you. There is no need to rush or force, for everything is coming to you in its perfect time and form. When you trust in the universe's power, you are acknowledging that there is a force far greater than your individual efforts at play. It is a power that is all-knowing, infinitely wise, and always working in your favor. It understands your desires, your needs, and the deepest longing of your soul, even when you might not fully understand them yourself. This power is the same energy that flows through all of creation, orchestrating the unfolding of your life in ways that are far beyond what you can comprehend from a limited perspective. The universe is not random or chaotic. It operates with a perfect intelligence, one that is always moving you toward your highest good, even if it may not seem that way in the moment. Trusting in the universe's power means surrendering to the flow of life, knowing that everything is being arranged for you, even if it doesn't appear to be happening immediately or in the way you expect. Every experience, every event, and every encounter is part of a larger plan that is working to bring your desires into fruition. When you trust in the universe's power, you stop trying to control every outcome and instead allow life to unfold as it is meant to. You release the need to force things, to make them happen in your own timing, or according to your own idea of how things should be. You understand that the universe, in its infinite wisdom, knows the perfect moment to bring things into your life. It knows the exact circumstances, the exact people, and the exact events that will lead you to your desires. This trust is not passive. It requires a deep sense of faith and confidence that what you want is already on its way. It is about knowing, beyond any shadow of a doubt, that the universe is not only aware of your desires but is actively working to bring them into your experience. Trusting in this power means releasing the need to worry or to question how things will unfold. It means trusting that the right things will come at the right time, in the right way, and that nothing can stand in the way of what is truly meant for you. When you live with this trust, you step into a state of alignment with the universe. You align your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions with the belief that everything is unfolding for your highest good. As you do so, you open yourself up to the infinite possibilities that the universe has to offer, and you allow the flow of abundance, love, and success to naturally come into your life. Trusting in the universe's power is the ultimate act of surrender, and in that surrender you unlock the fullness of what is already waiting for you. Manifestation is not confined by time, for time itself is not an external force that governs your desires. Instead, time is a part of the fabric of your consciousness, a reflection of your thoughts and beliefs. It is not the measure of when something will happen, but rather the experience of your awareness and focus. The moment you set an intention, you align your consciousness with it, and in doing so, you begin to shape reality beyond the limitations of linear time. Your desires are not waiting for some future moment to become real. They are already in the process of unfolding, but the experience of their manifestation is shaped by your perception of time. When you focus on the end result with unwavering faith, you shift your awareness to the feeling of already having what you desire. This feeling is not bound by the ticking of a clock. It exists now in the present moment, and it is through this alignment that your desires begin to materialize. Time is a mental construct that your mind uses to track experiences, but in the realm of creation, time is fluid. What you desire is already vibrating in harmony with your consciousness, and as you hold that vibration, it must manifest in physical form. Your desires are already on their way, and they will appear when your consciousness is fully aligned with the knowing that they are inevitable. The key is not to wait for time to pass, but to understand that your desires are not far off. They exist in the realm of possibility, and as you stay focused on the feeling of having them, they move closer to you. You are not waiting for something to happen. You are aligning with the reality of what is already yours. The universe is simply waiting for you to recognize that time does not limit the manifestation of your desires, your awareness does. Manifestation is not about exerting effort or forcing things into place. It is about understanding that the universe is already working on your behalf, and there is no need for struggle. When you find yourself pushing, striving, or attempting to force outcomes, you are resisting the natural flow of your desires. The very act of pushing indicates doubt or fear, a belief that what you want is somehow outside of your reach. The manifestation thrives in an environment of trust and ease, not in one of pressure. The moment you stop trying to control every detail, the moment you release the need to dictate how things should unfold, you allow space for your desires to materialize naturally. This is the power of surrender, the understanding that your role is not to force, but to trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, in its own time and way. When you trust in the process, you align your thoughts and emotions with the certainty that what you desire is already on its way. You let go of any anxiety about the how or when, and instead, you focus on the feeling of already having what you desire. This subtle shift in mindset is where the magic happens. You begin to trust that the universe knows exactly what you need and when you need it. It is always working to bring your desires to fruition in the most harmonious and perfect way. The process of manifestation does not require a battle. It requires patience, trust, and faith in the unseen. You do not have to exhaust yourself with endless action or struggle. Instead, you take inspired steps, aligning with your desires while knowing that the universe is already arranging everything for you. Trusting in the process means knowing that things are happening behind the scenes, even when you cannot see them yet. The more you allow things to unfold naturally, the faster and more effortlessly your desires will come to you. To manifest your desires, it is essential to align yourself with them fully, not by obsessing over how or when they will manifest, but by focusing on the end result, the feeling of already having what you want. The universe responds to the energy you radiate, and that energy is rooted in your thoughts and emotions. When you focus on the outcome, the fulfillment of your desire, you are sending a clear message to the universe that you already possess it in your reality. Aligning with your desire means adopting the state of mind that it is already yours. This is not about pretending or forcing yourself to believe something that feels distant. Instead, it is about cultivating the feeling that your desire has already been realized. How would you feel if you had everything you wanted right now? The universe responds to that vibration of knowing, of certainty, and will start to arrange events, opportunities, and people to match that frequency. When you focus on the end result, you let go of the need to control the how or the when. The universe, which operates on an infinite intelligence, knows exactly how to bring your desires into your life. Your part is to trust the process and to remain in a state of alignment with the feeling of already having. The more you align your thoughts and emotions with the end result, the more effortless the manifestation becomes. The universe will respond by drawing to you what you have vibrated into existence, with perfect timing and in ways beyond your imagination. Remember, manifestation is not a process of trying to force something to happen. It is a process of becoming the person who already has what they desire, of aligning with the end result so completely that the universe has no choice but to bring it into your reality. Trust in this alignment and let the universe do what it does best: bring your desires into being. The universe operates with an intelligence far beyond our understanding, and it unfolds events in your life with impeccable timing. It is not random, nor does it act according to our limited perceptions of time. The universe knows exactly when you are ready for the things you desire, and it will bring them to you at the perfect moment, when you are most prepared to receive them. When you understand that timing is not a matter of luck or chance, but of alignment, you can begin to relax and trust the process. What may seem like delays or setbacks are often simply the universe's way of ensuring that everything is in place for your greatest good. It is not that your desires are being withheld, but that they are being prepared for you in ways that will serve you the best. Imagine that everything you want is already in your life, waiting for you to reach the level of consciousness where you are able to fully appreciate and embrace it. The universe will not bring something to you until you are ready to receive it with the full understanding, awareness, and gratitude it requires. If something hasn't yet manifested, it is a sign that there is still preparation to be done, not just in the external world, but within yourself. When you are truly aligned with your desires, you will know, without a doubt, that they are already on their way to you. The universe operates on perfect timing, meaning that when something arrives in your life, it is not a coincidence. It is the culmination of everything coming together at just the right moment. Your desires are not delayed, nor are they out of reach. They are simply unfolding in their own perfect way. Trust in the process, trust that everything is happening as it should, and know that when the time is right, what you've asked for will come to you effortlessly. This practice isn't about waiting for external circumstances to change before you can feel good. It's about taking control of your internal world and shaping it to match the reality you want to create. The universe doesn't respond to your need for something, it responds to the energy of fulfillment, joy, and knowing that you already have it. The more you feel the gratitude and joy of already receiving your desire, the more you send out the vibration that calls it into your physical world. When you feel your desire is already real, you are not forcing or pretending. You are simply aligning your emotions with the truth of your desires, knowing that they are already part of your life, just waiting to be revealed. The feeling of already having what you want brings you into harmony with the universe, and it is this alignment that accelerates the manifestation process. In this state of joy and gratitude, you become a powerful magnet for your desires. The universe recognizes that you are ready to receive, and the pathways are cleared for your desires to materialize effortlessly. So before you see evidence in the physical world, feel it deeply in your heart. Experience the joy and gratitude of already having your desires fulfilled, and watch as the universe responds by bringing them into your life. To manifest your desires, it is crucial to maintain a state of calm assurance, knowing deeply that what you desire is already in the process of becoming real. This calm assurance is a powerful alignment with the certainty that everything is unfolding perfectly, even when you may not yet see evidence in the physical world. The key is to trust the process and remain grounded in the knowing that what you have asked for is already on its way to you. When you cultivate a sense of calm, you release any tension or anxiety that might arise from doubts or impatience. Anxiety and worry only signal that you are out of alignment with your desires. In contrast, calmness is the vibration of knowing that you are already connected to the outcome you seek. This state of assurance doesn't require you to see immediate results. It is about trusting that the universe is always working on your behalf, even when the details are not yet visible. The universe responds to your energy, and when you remain calm and assured, you project the vibration of having already received your desires. This assurance acts as a magnet, drawing everything into place. When you are calm, you are not in a state of resistance or struggle. Instead, you are in harmony with the flow of your desires, trusting that they are already becoming real, even if the path to their manifestation is not immediately apparent. It is in this peaceful state of knowing that you create space for the universe to do its work. You let go of the need to control the outcome or rush things into being, and instead you align yourself with the natural rhythm of the universe. When you stay calm and assured, you are simply allowing things to unfold, trusting that everything is falling into place at the right moment, in the perfect way. Your desires are on their way to you, and as you maintain this calm state, they will be drawn to you effortlessly. Trusting in divine timing is the understanding that the universe, with its infinite wisdom and order, is orchestrating everything in your life with perfect precision. There is a rhythm to life, a flow that knows exactly when to bring things into your experience. What is meant for you will arrive at exactly the right moment, never too soon, never too late. The idea that things must happen according to your personal timeline is a misconception. The universe is not bound by the limitations of your perception of time, and it is always working in harmony with your growth, readiness, and alignment. When you place your trust in divine timing, you surrender the need to control every aspect of the process. You understand that there is a bigger picture, one that you may not fully see at the moment. Every step you take, every experience you have, is preparing you for the moment when your desires can enter your life in the most profound way. It is not about rushing, but about allowing the right circumstances, people, and opportunities to come together at the perfect time. In moments of doubt or impatience, remind yourself that what is meant for you is already on its way. Your desires are not being withheld, they are simply being perfected. The universe is working behind the scenes, aligning everything to ensure that when your desires arrive, you are ready to receive them fully. When you trust in divine timing, you are signaling to the universe that you have faith in its plan for you, and this faith creates a powerful magnet for the things you desire. Trust that the universe knows exactly when you are ready to receive what you seek. Timing is not something you need to control, it is something you need to trust. The more you align with the flow of divine timing, the more effortlessly your desires will manifest, arriving at the perfect time when you are prepared to fully embrace them. The universe is always responding to you, every moment, every thought, every feeling. You are not waiting for something to happen, it is already happening. Right now, in this very moment, the universe is aligning itself with your thoughts, your beliefs, your assumptions. It is not a matter of time, it is a matter of awareness. What you believe to be true about yourself and your life, the universe must respond to. The miracle you are waiting for is already here, and the only thing standing between you and it is your own belief that it is not yet manifest. Understand this, you are the cause of your experience. The world around you, the circumstances in your life, they are a reflection of what you have been assuming. You may not see it yet, but everything you desire is already on its way, moving toward you, drawn by the magnetic power of your own inner state. When you assume, when you truly believe that the miracle is here now, you begin to align with it. You stop waiting and start living in the end where your dream is already fulfilled, where your miracle has already occurred. The universe does not work on the clock of time as you understand it. Time is a tool, not a limit. Everything you desire exists now, in the present moment, and it is only your belief in separation from it that creates the illusion of distance. As soon as you shift your consciousness to match the vibration of the miracle you seek, it must come to you. It is inevitable. The miracle is not a future event. It is a present reality, and all that is required is for you to assume its presence in your life, to live as if it is already done, and it will manifest before your eyes. Trust this truth: you are never waiting on the universe. The universe is waiting on you to recognize your own power and to believe in the miracle that is already on its way. The universe is a dynamic force that is continuously responding to the energy you send out through your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions. Every moment of every day, your inner state is creating the conditions of your outer reality. What you believe to be true about yourself and the world around you is what the universe reflects back to you. If you think thoughts of abundance, success, and love, those vibrations are sent out into the universe, and it must respond in kind, bringing those experiences into your life. Conversely, if you focus on lack, fear, or doubt, the universe mirrors those feelings and circumstances. The law of attraction operates constantly, effortlessly, and without exception. The key is understanding that you are never disconnected from the flow of creation. Your thoughts and feelings are the channels through which the universe manifests your experiences, shaping your reality in real time. Every thought is a seed planted in the soil of the universe, and the fruits of those thoughts are the experiences you encounter. Therefore, every moment is an opportunity to align your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions with the desires you want to manifest. The universe is always responding to you, whether you realize it or not, and it is up to you to consciously direct that flow. You are the creator of your own experience, and this power lies within your inner world. Everything you encounter in the external world is a reflection of the thoughts, beliefs, and feelings you hold within yourself. The outer world does not shape you, rather, it is shaped by your internal state. When you consciously choose to focus on positive, empowering thoughts, you align with the frequencies that attract similar experiences. Your feelings serve as a compass, guiding you toward the reality that you resonate with. If you are feeling joyful, confident, and at peace, your experience will mirror those feelings with opportunities, relationships, and situations that match that vibration. On the other hand, if you are consumed by fear, doubt, or negativity, those same energies will reflect back at you through challenges, obstacles, and limiting circumstances. You are not a passive observer in this world. Your thoughts and feelings are actively shaping the reality you live in. You are the artist of your life's canvas, painting each moment with the colors of your inner world. This means that at any moment you can shift your experience by changing your internal state. You have the ability to take control of your thoughts, choosing to replace those that no longer serve you with ones that empower and inspire you. The world outside is simply a mirror, showing you what you believe to be true. The more you understand this, the more you realize that you hold the keys to transforming any part of your life. The power is always within you. The miracle you desire is not something that will happen in the distant future, nor is it something that you must wait for. It is already here in the present moment, waiting for you to recognize it and align with its energy. The truth is that all possibilities exist now, and everything you want is already present in the unseen realm. The only thing standing between you and your miracle is your belief that it hasn't yet manifested. When you live as though the miracle is already yours, you align yourself with the vibration of that reality, and in doing so, you draw it closer to you. In the same way that you don't wait for night to be dark or for the sun to rise, you don't need to wait for your desires to manifest. The power of creation exists within you now, and the universe is always responding to your assumptions. Your desire, in its complete form, already exists in the present moment. It is not in some far-off time or place. It is here, right now, waiting for you to recognize it. When you change your perception and begin to see the miracle as already happening, the universe begins to mirror that belief, and you will soon see it take form in your physical world. The key to bringing the miracle into your experience is to stop searching for it outside of yourself and start feeling that it has already arrived. Live in the consciousness of having it now, and it will be drawn to you effortlessly. You do not need to struggle or strive to make the miracle happen. You only need to align with the state of already having it, and the universe will naturally respond to that alignment. The miracle is already here, and it's simply waiting for you to accept it as your reality. To manifest your desires, the key lies in living in the end. This means that you must mentally and emotionally experience your wish as though it has already been fulfilled. You do not need to wait for circumstances or external events to align before you begin to feel the joy, satisfaction, and gratitude of having your desire. The moment you begin to feel the end result now, in the present moment, you are aligning yourself with that reality, and the universe must respond accordingly. Living in the end means thinking, feeling, and acting as if your desire has already come true. If you want a new job, feel the excitement and gratitude of already having it. If you want a loving relationship, embody the feelings of love and connection as if it is already part of your life. It's not about waiting for the external world to change first, it's about changing your internal state to match the outcome you desire. When you do this, you are creating a vibration that is in harmony with the very thing you want to manifest. This process requires faith and trust in the unseen. You must let go of the need to see physical evidence before you believe it is already done. The moment you mentally assume the state of having what you desire, you activate the law of assumption, and your external world begins to rearrange itself to match your internal belief. Time is often viewed as a limitation, something that stands between you and your desires. But in truth, time is not a constraint, it is simply a tool. The reality you seek does not exist in the future, it exists right now. Everything you desire, every dream, every wish is already here in the present moment, existing in the realm of infinite possibility. The only thing that separates you from it is your awareness. You do not need to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect circumstances, or the ideal time to manifest what you want. The universe is not bound by time, and neither are you. The only reason things may seem distant is because your mind and perception are not yet aligned with the reality you wish to create. When you shift your awareness to the end result, when you fully embrace the truth that what you desire already exists, time becomes irrelevant. Think of time as a vehicle that moves you toward your realization, not as something that holds you back. The idea of waiting for something to happen is an illusion created by your mind. In the quantum realm, everything exists simultaneously. Your desire is not in the future, it is here now, waiting for you to recognize it and live in alignment with it. When you begin to see time for what it truly is, a tool for the unfolding of your awareness, you free yourself from the pressure of waiting. The moment you shift your focus from the concept of waiting for time to the understanding that everything already exists in the present, you align with the outcome you desire. Your awareness must catch up with the truth that the manifestation is already yours, and once it does, time will no longer be an obstacle. The reality you seek will unfold effortlessly and naturally, as if it has always been meant for you. The world around you is not a random collection of events and circumstances. It is a direct reflection of your inner state, the thoughts, beliefs, and emotions you carry within yourself. Every experience you have, every person you meet, every situation you face is a mirror, showing you the state of your inner world. Your thoughts and feelings act as a lens through which you perceive the external world, shaping the reality you experience. If your thoughts are filled with love, peace, and abundance, you will find that your life reflects these qualities. You will attract people and situations that resonate with that vibration. On the other hand, if your thoughts are rooted in fear, doubt, or lack, those same energies will be mirrored back to you, creating a life that feels challenging or unfulfilled. The external world is not the cause of your experiences, it is the result of your inner world. This means that you hold the power to change your reality at any moment. When you shift your inner state by changing your thoughts, adjusting your beliefs, or choosing to feel differently, you change the mirror that reflects back to you. If you want to experience more love, more success, or more joy, you must begin by nurturing those feelings within yourself. The external world will follow. It's important to remember that you are not a passive observer in your life. You are the creator of your reality. Your inner state is the foundation upon which your external experiences are built. When you understand this, you realize that you are never stuck in any situation. You have the power to change your life by changing your thoughts, your beliefs, and the way you choose to feel. The universe does not respond to what happens to you, it responds to what you believe to be true about yourself and the world around you. Therefore, if you want to see a change in your life, begin by transforming your inner world. The outer reality will follow, because it is always a reflection of the inner. To manifest your desires, you need to elevate your consciousness to the level of the thing you wish to create. This means that you must think, feel, and act as if your desire is already a part of your reality. If you want wealth, for example, you must shift your consciousness to that of abundance, not scarcity. Feel the emotions of having wealth right now, as if it is already present in your life. Visualize yourself living in a state of abundance and prosperity and truly believe that it is already yours. When your consciousness aligns with the vibration of your desires, the universe must respond by bringing those desires into your physical experience. The universe operates on frequency, and your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs emit a certain frequency. When you change your frequency to match that of your desires, the universe has no choice but to bring experiences and circumstances that are in harmony with that vibration. This is why it's so important to consistently shift your consciousness by consciously choosing thoughts, beliefs, and feelings that match the reality you want to create. The more you live in alignment with your desires, the faster they will materialize in your life. Shifting your consciousness is not about forcefully changing your circumstances or waiting for the right moment. It's about becoming the person who already has what they desire. You must embody the feelings, thoughts, and actions of the person you are becoming. When your consciousness shifts to match the vibration of what you want, your reality will inevitably follow. The power to manifest lies within your awareness, and when you consciously shift that awareness, everything in your world will transform accordingly. The belief in separation is the root of the illusion that keeps us from realizing the fulfillment of our desires. It is a belief that somehow what we seek is distant or separate from us. This perception of separation is what creates the illusion of waiting, of time and space existing between us and what we want. We may think that we must wait for the right circumstances, the right timing, or the right series of events to unfold before we can have what we desire. But in truth, everything you wish for is already within you, and the only thing preventing you from experiencing it is the belief that it exists apart from you. The illusion of separation comes from the mind's tendency to create boundaries, to categorize things as being either here or there, possible or impossible. This is a reflection of the limited perception that we are disconnected from the vast, infinite world of possibilities around us. But what if I told you that the miracle you seek, the fulfillment of your desires, is not something out there waiting to come to you? What if it already exists within you, right now, waiting for you to recognize it and embrace it? When you believe that your miracle is separate from you, you perpetuate a sense of lack and distance. You feel as if you must do something, wait for something, or change something external to yourself in order to bring your desires into reality. This belief in separation is what creates the illusion of time, of waiting, and of effort. But the truth is that all of your desires already exist within the realm of possibility. They are not separate from you. In fact, they are part of your inner world, and the only thing standing between you and them is your perception of separation. The law of attraction, often misunderstood as the act of waiting for something to happen, is actually the process of aligning your inner state with the desire you seek. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs shape your reality. The moment you align your consciousness with the feeling of having your desire, you begin to dissolve the illusion of separation. You stop seeing your miracle as something that is out there and start seeing it as something that is already present within you, in the here and now. This shift in perception is what causes your desire to manifest in your life. Think about it this way: when you truly believe in separation, you create a divide between yourself and the thing you want. It is as if you are saying, that thing is over there and I am over here. I must do something, work hard, wait for the right time, or change my circumstances to bridge the gap. But in reality, there is no gap. There is no distance between you and your desire. The only distance is the mental and emotional space you create between yourself and the fulfillment of your wish. The moment you accept that your desire is already here, that it exists within you now, you begin to close that distance. The experience of waiting, of feeling that your miracle is still out there, is simply the result of your belief in separation. You are not waiting for anything, you are simply in the process of recognizing what is already yours. When you stop looking for your miracle outside of yourself, you begin to see that it has always been a part of you. The moment you embrace this truth, your experience will shift. Your desire will no longer feel distant or unattainable. It will become an extension of your current reality. And when that happens, the universe, which is simply a reflection of your inner state, will bring it to you in perfect harmony. The idea of waiting for a miracle, of feeling that it is something that will happen in the future, is a result of the belief that the miracle is separate from you. But time, as we often perceive it, is not the governing force that determines the arrival of your desires. Time, in its essence, is simply a tool through which your awareness of your desires unfolds. Your desires do not exist in the future, they exist now. When you shift your awareness to the present moment, you will begin to experience your desires as though they have already been fulfilled. The feeling of waiting will dissolve, and you will no longer feel the need to wait for the right moment, because you will know that the right moment is always now. When you believe in separation, you keep yourself trapped in a cycle of waiting. You may think that something is missing from your life, and you may feel as if you are on a journey to find it. But the truth is that what you seek is already within you, and the journey you are on is one of realization, not acquisition. The only thing you need to do is realize that the miracle you desire is already here. You do not need to wait for it to come to you because it has always been a part of you. This shift in perception requires a change in consciousness. You must move from a mindset of lack and waiting to one of abundance and fulfillment. The moment you begin to believe that your miracle is not separate from you, that it is already a part of your present reality, the external world will begin to reflect that belief. You will see opportunities, synchronicities, and signs that confirm the truth that your desire is already yours. Your life will align with your inner state, and you will no longer feel as though you are waiting for something to happen. This realization is the key to manifesting your desires with ease. When you stop believing in separation, you stop placing limitations on yourself and your desires. You stop believing that something is missing from your life and start seeing that everything you need is already within you. The feeling of waiting, of being separate from your miracle, will dissolve, and you will begin to experience the world as a reflection of your inner state. The miracle is not a distant event that will occur in the future. It is a present reality, waiting for you to align with it. Your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are the tools you use to align with the frequency of your desire. The more you focus on the feeling of having your desire now, the more you dissolve the illusion of separation. The more you live in the assumption that your miracle is already yours, the more the universe will bring it into your physical experience. There is no waiting in this process, no struggle, and no need to strive. Everything you desire already exists, and your only task is to align with it. The belief in separation is what keeps you from experiencing this truth. But once you recognize that there is no distance between you and your desire, everything will begin to fall into place. The world will reflect your inner state, and the miracle you seek will become your reality. There is no gap between you and what you desire, only the awareness of its existence in your present moment. The moment you truly believe and assume that your miracle is already here, you align yourself with the infinite power of the universe, and everything begins to shift in your favor. You are not waiting for the miracle to come, nor are you looking for signs that it is approaching. Instead, you are living as though it has already manifested in your life. This state of assumption, where you take on the feeling of the wish fulfilled, is the key to unlocking the flow of abundance and possibilities that the universe is waiting for you. The universe does not respond to what you want in the future, it responds to what you feel in the present moment. When you assume the feeling of already having what you desire, the universe moves in harmony with that assumption and brings you the conditions, people, and experiences that match your belief. It is not about trying to force things into existence or waiting for them to appear. It is about embodying the state of having, the state of knowing, that what you seek is already yours. Once you do this, the universe, which is simply an extension of your inner world, will align to bring your desires into your physical reality. Belief is the catalyst. It is the spark that sets everything in motion. The moment you accept, without doubt, that your miracle is already here, you activate the creative force of the universe. It is not enough to simply wish for something or hope it will come. You must believe with every fiber of your being that it is already a part of your life. When you do this, the shift occurs not in the outer world, but within yourself. You are no longer waiting for the conditions to change because you have already aligned yourself with the feeling of what it would be like to have your desire right now. This shift in consciousness is where true power lies. When you take on the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you assume that the miracle is already here, the outer world must adjust to reflect this new inner reality. The universe in all its vastness responds to your state of consciousness. If you are living in the assumption that your miracle is already present, then your experience of life will reflect this assumption. The world around you will begin to reflect the inner state of knowing, and in doing so, your miracle will manifest effortlessly. It is important to recognize that the miracle does not need to come from an external source. It is not a distant event that will occur in the future. It is not something that is coming from outside of you. The miracle is within you. The belief that it is already here is what activates it. The moment you assume the feeling of the miracle being present, you begin to see the signs and experiences that confirm it. Your reality starts to shift because you have changed your perception. You no longer see yourself as someone waiting for something to happen. Instead, you see yourself as someone who already has what they desire. The universe does not need time or space to bring you your miracle. It only needs you to shift your consciousness to align with the belief that what you seek is already here. When you embrace this truth, when you live in the assumption that your miracle is already part of your present experience, time and space will bend to accommodate your new perception. The conditions around you will shift, and opportunities will appear as if by magic, all because you have chosen to believe and assume that the miracle is already yours. When you begin to live from this place of knowing, you will find that you no longer feel a sense of lack or waiting. There will be no more urgency or anxiety, because you will already feel the fulfillment of your desire within you. You will radiate the energy of someone who already has everything they have ever wanted, and in doing so, you will attract those very things into your life. The universe, ever responsive to your inner world, will bring your miracle to you in perfect timing. At the core of this process is the understanding that you are not separate from the life you desire. Your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions shape the world you experience. When you change your assumptions, you change your world. The miracle you desire is not some far-off event. It is not something that will